I got a comment lately, and the question was, what was my philosophy on healing about chronic fatigue syndrome, ME? And I know many of you like to have a simple solution, like a very simple treatment that could heal everybody. For example, people with the lightning process, they say it's only the lightning process, yet it does not completely heal everybody. Or people who say it's only the Epstein-Barr virus, but you can keep cleansing yourself forever, so it's probably not that as well. And or people who say it's insulin resistance, it's only in the gut, or the nervous system, the fight or flight mode. And because I was intrigued by the question, and I've been working like the last 5 months on my philosophy on how you should heal, or how you could heal from chronic fatigue syndrome, ME. And I think it also counts for fibromyalgia. So there are 3 components in my philosophy about how to heal this condition. And the first component is the trigger, which is different for everybody. The second component is the nervous system, with being too much in the fight or flight mode. And the third component is neuroplasticity. So before you switch off because you think, oh, I've done all these things, I'm gonna quickly go to another movie like most people do. They watch only 10 seconds of the movie and see if they're scanning if this is what they knew or not. And they basically want to stay if I recommend another supplement, which I'm not gonna do. So in reverse, neuroplasticity, the third component, which I think is also the last component. In neuroplasticity, your mind will make it easier for you to feel what you're focusing on. So if you're in bed and you're not working anymore, you go all day spending time how miserable you are, thinking about it. The neural pathways in your body will make it, in your brain and anywhere, somewhere, it will make it easier for you to feel and experience the sensations and feelings. And with a training like the lightning process, you can easily reverse this with pretty fast results. Yet 80% of the people with the lightning process improve, 20% of the people don't improve, and I don't know how many people will heal completely with the lightning process, but there certainly are a number of people. And what I found is with these people that they've usually got rid of the trigger, probably by being years in bed and completely reshaping their personality, but also because they've been working with the lightning process on the nervous system, calming down the nervous system. So you can, with the lighting process, imagine yourself in a different state, and by that you can reprogram yourself. And I really recommend the course, but I'm not going to say it's going to heal you completely. There's a big chance that it will improve your condition. But there are also other ways of neuroplasticity. A very simple one is just to go traveling, do something you love, focus on something different, and joy, connection. So there are a lot of ways you can work on them, and I recommend checking out my website as well. I've been building on the website for the last, 6 months now, and a lot of information and free books you can download, studies that I refer to. So if we go to the second component, which is the nervous system, what you see in the personality types of people with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, is that they tend to be in the fight or flight mode. And what I think is that the fight or flight mode can be a trigger, but it doesn't have to be. But the fight or flight mode also creates secondary symptoms and secondary conditions. For example, if you're being stressed out all the time, probably maybe it's your personality, but also maybe it's because of the initial symptoms you're experiencing. You're not going to sleep very good anymore because you're in a fight or flight mode. That will mess things up. Or Um, because you're in a fight or flight mode, less energy of your body is going into the digestion. So the fight or flight mode, a fight or flight mode involves your personality. It can be the trigger as well, and therefore I think calming down your nervous system should be a priority. And that means, well, you can check out my website for all the advices that I have, but some include like getting off your mobile phone, resting completely, meditation, getting your sleep rhythm right, maybe enhance that with medications, or maybe even some supplements. But I'm not a supplement fan, and I never really recommend supplements because there's also something as the placebo effect, which you learn with the lightning process as well. So you're never really sure if it works, and since most people are taking supplements and don't have very little result, maybe only in secondary symptoms like, for example, the digestion issues, or with calming down the nervous system a little bit, like herbs. So yeah, that's the second component. And the third component, which is actually the first component, is the trigger. And the trigger is different for everybody. Yet, what we see with people with ME/CFS, and what I've looked into through studies and personality, psychological profiles of people who have this illness, is that they all have basically the same psychological profile. And if you would read the book, which you can download for free on my website, called When the Body Says No, you can read about all the psychological profiles from almost every big major illness that is there. And how doctors are in some illnesses they can predict illnesses in people with a 94% accuracy. So they don't have an illness yet, but doctors can predict what illness they will develop based on their personality. So that is a huge factor in the trigger, because most people who have an illness, basically any illness, like basically just any illness, they tend to be not aware of their emotions and therefore not aware of their boundaries. So if you would like to be the desired child as a kid, and suddenly comes up anger, and anger is not respected in your family, but anger is a boundary. So anger is actually is saying no. So when you're not listening anymore to the anger goes straight into your unconscious, and therefore the body will say no, which is actually the case when you have ME/CFS. It doesn't have to be that simple for everybody, that it's only one cause in the trigger. It can be multiple. And for some, it's as easy as changing a diet, but that's very rare. And most people who are on a diet, basically only focusing on diet, like gluten-free, they get a sense of control and a sense of distraction, and they will probably what is called in TMS from Dr. Sarno, develop some sort of distraction by being very, very in control over their diet, and therefore their diet has become a symptom from their body mind. So yeah, I'm talking about multiple things. It's very complex, I think, in this area. And to read more about it, like, I put lots of information which I cannot explain very well in a short video. It's on my website, danielvanloosbroek.com. I recommend you check it out, and I'll keep updating stuff, and I'll keep providing you with free books and research and blogs about it. But that's basically what I think are the three components what you should work on when you're healing with ME/CFS. For the ones who probably already checked out right now, who are believing that you cannot heal from this illness and that I'm a fraud and a scam, is please consider that I'm not making any money with this. And there are people who have very simple solutions for you. Like, it's only the Epstein-Barr virus, please buy my book. that are making a lot of money with this, and they don't really know the illness, in my opinion. Plus, there are actually people that recover. Recovery is a real thing, and I recommend that, okay, maybe in next year some medicine will come and make you improve, but I find it very unlikely that within a few years there are medicines to heal this condition. So check out my website, and happy healing.